Have you ever experienced your pain or symptoms flaring up over the holidays? Well, it's not random. And in this video, I'll explain why it happens and what you can do about it. So to understand why this happens, we need to understand that stress is very closely linked to pain and to gut symptoms. There are many reasons for this, but here is one of the main mechanisms. You see, when the body is in a state of fight or flight, then the body and the brain and the nervous system will get sensitized to pain. That's because pain is the body's protection mechanism. It is there to let you know when something is wrong and that you need to take care of yourself. When you get stressed and the fight or flight response is activated, then the brain and nervous system feels like there's a threat, there's something wrong. And in turn, it can decide to switch on the pain circuits. And in addition to that, for IBS, we know that when the body goes into fight or flight mode, blood and energy and resources will drain out of the digestive system and into the large muscle groups to get you ready for action. And this makes the digestion slower and less effective. And together with the increased sensitivity for pain, that can create a lot of the IBS symptoms. In addition to that, we know that the areas of the brain that is associated with processing pain are also associated with the processing of emotions. And that means that when you experience a heavy negative emotion, and especially over time, then that can interact with the pain circuits in the brain and amplify whatever pain you're experiencing. If all of this sounds unfamiliar to you, then you might be new here. And if so, my name is Andreas and I'm the founder of mindbodyconnection.org. We help high-performing professionals get out of chronic pain and IBS by using clinical hypnotherapy and neural circuit retraining. If you watch my other videos, then you know that the brain and nervous system can learn to produce pain even in the absence of physical injury or disease. This is called neuroplastic pain. And a lot of people with chronic pain like back pain and neck pain or gut symptoms like IBS have some sort of neuroplastic pain. We've created an assessment you can take to help you figure out if your symptoms are neuroplastic. You can find a link to it in the description below. But how does this relate to the holidays? Supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year, right? Well, that's not necessarily always the case. You see, a lot of factors that play into stress and emotional turmoil is amplified during the holidays. Social expectations, right? You're supposed to show up for family functions, for work events, Christmas parties. If you have kids, then there are school plays and there are Christmas markets and all kinds of social obligations. And in addition to that, there's financial stress. A lot of people experience financial stress around the holidays because you have to get presents and there are dinners and social events and all kinds of things which can really take a toll on your finances. Especially if you have kids and you want to make sure that their presents are kind of on par with what the other kids their age are getting. And there's just layers and layers and layers of social obligations that we need to attend to. And then there's the to-do list. You need to shop the presents, you need to make sure you got all the food, all the decorations, that you call grandma, that you send the emails, and yeah, not to mention the emails, you know, the work projects that we need to wrap up before Christmas, right? So people will try to stuff your calendar with meetings, to do the last minute tasks before the holidays. And before you know it, people will fill your days with their agendas. Another key stress factor is family events. A lot of people have difficulties getting along with their family. And getting together for the holidays can mean a lot of stress. There's family members that you don't get along with, or that will always create trouble, or that will kind of push all your buttons and trigger you, right? And having to spend that time with these people can be the source of a lot of stress, a lot of sadness, anger, negativity, just the anticipation of it, starting like even in summer, and just like anticipating the situations and the conversations that you'll have during the holiday season. All of this can amplify the stress and the pain and the symptoms, right? And not to mention the huge contrast that we see when we try to compare our own experiences with the cultural expectations around the holidays. You know, in media and in, pop culture, the holidays are supposed to be the most beautiful, the most peaceful, the happiest time of the year. And in commercials and in movies and on the street, you will see people looking happy with their families. And when this is not the case for you, then that contrast between your experience and what you feel like you're supposed to be experiencing, that contrast can be so painful. For a lot of people, the holidays are the worst time of the year. So not only do you experience all of this stress, in addition to that, you have the stress of feeling like you've failed at enjoying the holidays. And this is especially true for people who have perfectionistic tendencies or they have people-pleasing tendencies, because you'll go out of your way to try to make everyone happy and to try to make everything perfect at the cost of your own well-being. My invitation to you for this holiday season is to prioritize your own well-being. Try to make time for yourself. Try to make space. Say no when it's appropriate and say yes to the things that you actually want to do, that fill you up with joy and excitement. And let yourself off the hook for not having the perfect holiday season or for not being perfect. The best gift you can give to yourself is to give yourself some slack and to enforce boundaries when it's appropriate. That's everything from me today. I'm wishing you a wonderful holiday season and Merry Christmas. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.